3, 2, 1.
Here we go! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Monday installment of We Talk. I'm Johan van Rooyen and I will be your host for today. We have a jam-filled session for you for today, so please stick around. For today's interview, we are headed to Green Enterprise Solutions and we are talking ransomware attacks here in Namibia, so do stay tuned for that. But first up, we have the news. In today's news segment, we will be taking a look at the mega financial trends talk that was hosted by the Capricorn Group on Friday with Colin Iles, and then we will move over to the Cheetah Cement workers that are still camping out after weeks because they can't reach negotiations. Our final news story of the day will focus on the City of Windhoek's council meeting and what they have up their sleeve.
Money is awesome. Banking and financial services is awesome. If you're looking to choose a career to go into where you're at the cutting edge of literally changing societies, I really do advise that you think about financial services. Because just think about money for an instance and what it is, right? This is something that even adults struggle with. It doesn't exist. This exists. This is a table. Money and the whole financial system that we work within is a fantasy. It's a story. We've made it up. And we've made it up because we needed a way that we could actually trade with each other. We needed something which we could make as a medium of exchange, to store value. If you believe that the stuff that's happening today will be exactly the same in 10 years' time, you've got it wrong. Let's go through some examples. What is the future of finance? I think the future of finance is exponential. Let's demo what exponential is, okay? I'm going to walk a few paces. 1, 2, 3. Assuming that each pace is a meter, I've gone 3 meters. Imagine what would happen if you had the ability to double your pace every stride. 1, 2, oh, I won't do more, we could get in trouble. Do that 26 times, you'll go around the world. Was it 30 times? You go around the world 26 times. It really doesn't matter. The scale of what impacts on these exponential trends is, you just can't understand it. And so when you're sitting here and you think about, do I invest in something today and there's compound interest at 10% per annum for the next 40 years, you will not imagine, it doesn't make sense how much you can actually accumulate in terms of capital. But it's not just about using money and compound interest. It's about then saying what's happening in the world of technology, because we're living in a world where we've got exponential change happening today right in front of our noses. And it's not just on one technology that's becoming cheaper or more accessible or more useful in some way or another. It's masses of numbers of different technologies.
The current state that is now with the striking influence of Cheetah Cement is that, so what is going to happen is we have relooked into our proposal as a bargaining agent, the Mine Workers Union, because of trying to look at the position of the company, looking at the economic reasons that they came up, and the proposal was already shared with the employer, and the meeting is going to take place on the 16th. It was already confirmed by the arbitrator from the Ministry of Labour. The meeting will take place at 10 o'clock next week. That's Tuesday. So there is nothing have changed so far. Nothing have changed. There was never an agreement reached. So as you know that investors have the master keys in this country. They are not coming forth. They are not also addressing really issues that are affecting this world, that they're working for them. That's why you will find people are working without medical aid or patient fund. And they are working in an environment like that, like the environment of Chita Cement, where in 3 months' time we have lost employees that lost their fingers. They lost their fingers, got injured. Some of them are not yet back at work. So that's why we are saying that there is no way as a leader I'm going to sign an agreement without medical aid or pension. That's something that I'm not going to do. So that's why even on the meeting of the 12, on the 16th, if the issue of medical aid and pension is not being addressed, there is no way that there will be an agreement reached. So we are looking forward to the 16th.
The City of Windhoek will commence its council housing program by way of pilot project on 8 residential zoned erven in Kommersdal. Council earlier resolved to enter the affordable housing space and accelerate the provision of housing within the city. The construction of 8 houses in Kommersdal expands the construction of affordable houses from informal settlements to other parts of the city. This is the first time the council will alienate houses and not just receive erven for this purpose. Council has previously only alienated serviced land, and therefore the sale of improved erven, specifically with a completed housing structure, is new to the alienation process.
Approval to alienate housing constructed under the Affordable Housing Program. This item aims to inform the Council of the commencement of Council Housing Program by way of a pilot project of 8 residential zoned erven in Kommersdal, and then seek Council's approval for the sale of 8 houses to be constructed on the said erven to ensure that occupation follow immediately after completion of the construction phase. The installation of municipal service to all 8 erven started in April 2022 and is scheduled for completion by the end of June 2022. So for the implementation of the Council Housing Program, the Strategic Executive, Housing Property Management and Human Settlement was mandated to draft a policy on affordable housing for approval by Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with Johan at Green Enterprise Solutions, and we are talking ransomware. Can you quickly, briefly explain to us what exactly is ransomware?
So ransomware is pretty much a virus. It's a certain type of virus. The effect of this virus is very focused normally. So it's a virus that encrypts data. It's normally in the form of encryption. That encryption key is something that you don't have as the user. The files are now encrypted by a virus, but the process now to get your data back is via ransom. So you need to, then you normally get a file with this encryption that gives you the whole instruction, what to do, who to pay, where to pay, and then to get your data back if you're so lucky.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You say a payment needs to be made. I am assuming that this will be in cryptocurrency and not, like we said off camera, an e-wallet.
It is almost 100% always in a form of cryptocurrency. It doesn't need to be Bitcoin. It can be any other currency of Ethereum or BNB, and there's a lot of other ones as well. The reason for that is to stay anonymous and not to trace this payment through the normal, which a normal SWIFT banking system or so would be able to do. And that keeps these, IT criminal minds then basically in play for quite some time before they are caught.
When we look at how technology has grown in Namibia, it feels unreal to think that Namibian companies are actually being targeted. But you have been running around for the last couple of days because this is in fact what is happening.
Yes, remember, if you're on the internet, you're not a first world or a third world country. You are part of a global network, and you can be targeted as easily as any other country or any other digital system or resource on the internet. So yes, Namibia there's no exception to the rule for us. We have to be vigilant just as much as any other first world country or third world country as well.
Can you quickly explain to us how are Namibian companies being targeted?
So to maybe just explain how ransomware normally works is the virus is spread normally in two ways. It's either by what they call some sort of file share. So that's normally if you have a USB stick, your machine is maybe infected already at home. You bring the USB stick to work and you keep on infecting your work network further. The more primary way that we have seen in the last 3 weeks is by email. So you will get, the mails are normally well written. You'll get a mail where it states, and it will normally go, they will normally know that it needs to go to finance and whom the finance person is. It's sometimes very focused target, sometimes not. But the idea is where a mail will come through stating something like, I've already paid you, and you keep on asking me for the proof of payment. Please see the proof of payment and please leave me alone. So it will be very much a mail where you are quite a bit shocked and you would open up the proof of payment.
What should we as companies be doing to protect ourselves?
So what we see is the way this virus works is it's really much looking for loopholes in your network where certain maintenance tasks was neglected either by time or by resources that couldn't attend to these maintenance schedules. And what we're talking about is these two big ones is your machine needs to be patched. Either home PC or work PC needs to be patched to the latest patches. You need to have a proper antivirus installed, but not just installed, it needs to be updated as well.
Updated.
Those two aspects is very important. And the last thing we do see is people still running very old machines, XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, which doesn't have the necessary patching in place, which then makes it almost impossible to keep those machines up and running with these ransomware.
If our security has been breached in this manner, what should we be doing? Should we pay them? Is there anything else we can do?
Well, like in the physical and virtual world, paying for ransom is not your best option to go for. You never know if you'll get your data back. Yes, people do get desperate. If the big problem with this ransomware is if it does infect, if you have an infected machine and it does encrypt data, it doesn't just encrypt it on that machine, it encrypts it all over the network where it can pretty much get its hand on. The problem with that is if it does get to your backups, it does encrypt that as well. So you are in a very, very sticky situation to get your data back.
Wow.
And because of that, people sometimes do pay. It's not advisable to go that route. Sorry about that. And yes, so what is very important is you need to have your backups, and it needs to be physically disconnected from your machine or your network. So you have to have a backup schedule where you have data that's literally disconnected and off-site or not connected to your network or any type of digital resource on your network or at home. I think if I can give everyone good advice, it would be 3 things. Make sure you have proper antivirus. Forget about the free stuff that you get off the internet, and that's 30 days as the evaluation. Go buy a proper antivirus product. Make sure it's updated. If you are running any type of machine, it doesn't need to be only Windows machines, it can be Linux as well. Keep your machine up to date, keep the software up to date that's on that machine. And lastly, do backups, and do plug out those backups and save it in your closet. It's more safe in your closet where it is connected to your machine.
Exactly.
And if you can stick to those 3, the chances are that you have some sort of remedy in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, welcome to another exciting edition.
For today's life hack, did you know that it is scientifically proven that getting your hair done or your nails done can actually improve anxiety and stress levels? Like they say, change is as good as a holiday. Next up, Jeanette Diergaard for your Flex Minute.
Bookings for Namibia Tourism Expo 2022 are open. The expo will take place from 3 to 5 November 2022 in Windhoek. To secure your booking, visit nte.nmh.com.na, and for more information on the expo, follow all Namibia Media Holdings platforms. The expo is supported by the Ministry of Environment, Tourism and Forestry, Namibia Tourism Board, FENATA, City of Windhoek, and Namibia Media Holdings. Namibia Tourism Expo, taking tourism to the regions.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Flex. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, your presenter for Flex. Now today we are stretching out our back. We are just doing some stretches to help improve our posture. So if you struggle with a bad posture like I do, then just do these stretches, increase your muscle strength, and then hopefully this will help you. So we're gonna do a simple forward fold bend. So you can have your feet hip width apart, bend at your hips and fall forward. So arms in front of you. So you really want to feel that stretch. You're going to feel it in your hamstrings as well, but that's okay. We are stretching out our shoulders at the same time. You don't want to tense up your neck. You don't want to tense up your shoulders. You just want to relax it. So relax into the stretch. okay, and just feel it. So as I said before, muscle tension is also a cause for bad posture. So now we're going to do a pyramid stretch. So you have one leg behind you, my right leg is in front of me, and you will turn your hips, twist it to the side so that it is almost in a square position, and you're going to fall. You're going to fall forward, but not completely. You'll interlace your fingers at your back, okay, and you really feel the stretch while you're doing this. Okay, so again, you will definitely feel this one in your hamstrings, in your legs that's supporting you, but just try and go into that stretch and then do the other side as well. That brings us to the end of this one for today. I'll see you guys next time.
For today's recommendation, we are headed to the Namibia Green Hydrogen Conference that is starting in the capital on Tuesday and concluding on Wednesday. Let's go check what it's all about. The Economic Association of Namibia, in collaboration with the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board of Namibia, with support from the Hans Siedel Foundation, are proud to announce the Namibia Green Hydrogen Conference for this year, and this will take place on the 16th and 17th of August and will be entirely funded with support from the private sector and non-governmental organizations. It will be a platform for Namibian stakeholders to deliberate and unpack the green hydrogen industry while promoting Namibia as a competitive investment destination. The conference, which will bring together policymakers and parliamentarians, the private sector, academics, the civil society, as well as the public. Green hydrogen is becoming a critical source of energy in global energy markets, playing an increasingly central role in the transition to a green energy future. With usage in diverse areas such as transport, manufacturing, and the chemical industry, green hydrogen is expected to play a central role in transforming global industries as countries around the world are seeking to decarbonize their economies. During this conference, stakeholders will look at Namibia's potential as a green hydrogen investment destination, as well as the micro and macroeconomic opportunities, challenges, and risks of large-scale investments in green hydrogen for a small and developing economy. They will also take a look at the legal and regulatory framework required to facilitate the successful development of a green hydrogen economy in Namibia. Other discussion points will include infrastructure, human resources, value chain, finance, as well as foreign direct investment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from my side for today. I hope you have a great day further. Please join us again for tomorrow's interview as Irene Marie van der Walt will show us something businessy. Goodbye.